Hi again, YouTube, back for the second part of the first video that I just uploaded. It's actually really easy to upload to YouTube, so I was happy about that. Anyways, I had left off where my husband and I decided to stop seeing the infertility specialist. So we decided to take a break at this point and not to start trying, obviously, but to not pursue any treatment at that time. During the summer of 2013, we had made some pretty big life decisions concerning school, career, our housing. Basically, our entire lives were going to be changing and very all-consuming over the next 3 years. So we decided to not try to have a family, and that was a little disheartening, but the reasons were good behind that, so we were okay with that. One thing that we did decide that would be not invasive and relatively cost effective would be if I started seeing a chiropractor. I had seen on YouTube and I had heard of other women having success who had been previously dealing with infertility at a chiropractor. So one of my best friends actually had luck in conceiving her daughter by seeing a chiropractor. So I made an appointment, and it was very good overall. I enjoy my chiropractor appointments, and I've been going for now almost a year. It hasn't helped as far as the infertility goes, but overall I feel good about going, and I enjoy that, and I will continue to do that. One of the things that my chiropractor did was prescribe me two different types of, well, not prescribe, but suggested two different types of like mineral pills or herbal supplements to aid in my pituitary issues. And so I thought that was good. She also had me switch my medication. At this time I had still been on the cabergoline. This had been a couple of years now. Excuse me. And my endocrinologist had always said that if I were to get pregnant, I would have to switch to a medication called bromocriptine. There are more studies done on bromocriptine concerning pregnancy than there were cabergoline pills. So I told this to my chiropractor, and she said, well, why don't you just switch the medication now? That way, if you are to get pregnant, you don't have to worry about it. And I thought that was a good idea, so I did that, and my endocrinologist was fine with it. And so I was taking the herbal supplements in conjunction with my prescribed medication, and then in December we got some pretty devastating news that everything that we had been planning for concerning these life decisions had fallen through, and it wasn't going to happen, basically. And so that, in conjunction, I had started a new job in September that was fairly stressful. So that news in December, starting a new job, not being able to get pregnant, it definitely, I don't want to say it put me in a depression, but it definitely put me in a major funk, and I just wasn't acting myself. So for a while I stopped taking my medication, my prescribed medication. I didn't do a follow-up with my endocrinologist, and I even waned as far as not taking the herbal supplements and kind of putting off my chiropractor appointments. It was just, I was in a total funk, and I know it wasn't good. And looking back at it now, it wasn't smart. I didn't talk to my husband about it. I really didn't talk to a whole lot of people about it. I kind of enclosed myself, but it is what it is. I'm pretty much over that now. I'm in a good place. It's fine. So that all happened, and we were pretty upset and devastated by it. But, you know, we prayed, and we sought counsel, and we just said, you know what, if this is what God wants in our life, He'll make it happen, and right now we're where we're supposed to be. So we actually started looking to buy a new house, because our first home, while it was good for that season in time, we did want something bigger, and we decided that we weren't going to be leaving the city that we live in for a while, that we were happy here. So we started doing that. In spring of 2014, I did have minor lactation from my left breast, and I know that's a lot of information, but I need to be honest on here. And I remember specifically that was one of the questions that my endocrinologist asked me at my first appointment, is if that had ever happened to me before, and I said no, because it hadn't. And so obviously when you don't take your medication for a medical issue that you have, your symptoms come back, and this came back with a vengeance, because this had never happened to me before. So I did freak out. However, I did not freak out enough to do anything about it, which again, I don't recommend. I still didn't take my pills, and I still didn't make a follow-up appointment with my endocrinologist. So yeah, that was, but I knew eventually I would need to do something, but I was just so fed up with the whole baby thing. And that wasn't even, yes, it's important that my husband and I are trying to have a baby, but more so than that, I have something growing in my head that's not supposed to be there, and I really was not taking care of myself. So anyways, jump forward to summer, and we bought our home. We moved into our new house July 15th, and it's considerably larger than our old house. It's got 4 bedrooms and a lot of living space, and it's just my husband and I and our cat and our dog, and so that obviously got the wheels turning in my brain. I'm like, could have put a baby crib in here, and we could paint the walls this, and we need to get on this again. We need to have a baby. And so I had my chiropractor order a blood test at one of the local diagnostic places, and they tested my prolactin, and it was up to 70, and that's the highest that it's ever been. So I was like, okay, it's time to get serious. I called a new endocrinologist. Not that the first one was bad, but she was more or less indifferent about things, and I didn't appreciate that. So I have an appointment set up on November 3rd with my new endocrinologist, and I'm looking forward to that. I started taking the cabergoline pills because when my first endocrinologist prescribed them back in October of last year, when I switched, I'd only taken 1 pill and then I stopped. So started taking the bromocriptine, and I started taking the herbal supplements prescribed by my chiropractor. I'm taking them simultaneously, and I just started that a couple of weeks ago, so we'll see how that all goes. And then, yeah, and now I'm making the videos, and I'm really excited about this. I've already got about 13 videos in mind that I want to do, that I want to share with everybody out there, especially the TTC community, obviously. And I just think that it's a great way for women to support each other in this. And I get really upset when I go on someone's YouTube page who is just being honest about their opinions, their feelings, their thoughts, whatever the case, and people are just so rude. People think that they can say anything that they want to on social media because they're not in front of your face, and I don't appreciate that. So if you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, that's fine. I would just appreciate it if nobody left any negative comments. If you have positive comments, if you have questions, by all means, go ahead and post away. And subscribe. I know that a lot of people I watch tell you to subscribe, so subscribe. I don't know how often I'll be filming, but like I said, I've already got like 13 videos in mind, so who knows, maybe tomorrow night, I don't know, this might become my new hobby and I'll do it every single day. I don't know, but anyways, so I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this, and yeah, everybody have a good night, and I will see you pretty soon. Bye.